take 2, actually, and I'm hoping that this happens in 2 takes. What a day I've already had. It is only just coming up on 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've only been at work for less than a half an hour at this point, even though I was supposed to start at 2, and here is why. So my day today got very eventful when I stopped at Shoppers for my Diet Coke fix and some snacks for work that I needed to pick up to keep in the little pantry of treats here. So I got what I needed, and I was in line behind one single gentleman with his several boxes of tissues and some other things, in line getting ready to finish up with his transaction. So, oh, by the way, natural hair day. Look at that natural. Just let it happen. Wore a hat today, that's why. Behind this gentleman, he's about to pay. Anyway, she does the click, he taps his card, and a beep happens, but nothing else. So, working in customer service, I know it has not completed. I'm sort of kind of not paying attention at this point, until I sort of realize that a certain amount of time has gone by and nothing has happened. So then he says, "Are we good?" And she looks up and goes, "Oh, no, I guess it didn't work." And he goes, "Yeah, it did. It said approved on the machine." And she says, "Oh, sorry, let me just look here." So his total had been $17.50. Now, at this point, I start paying attention because what I will do when I can, and this is not meant to be like a brag, but if somebody can't pay for something, especially if it's under $20 and I'm doing okay, I will help people out. I will pay it forward. It's what I try to do. I think, I believe in good karma, good juju, putting good things out into the world. So anyway, I start paying attention at this point because if it's just that his card has declined, I will throw my card at the machine and pay for it for him. But instead, this gentleman decides to start arguing with the cashier. And I have worked in customer service since I was 16 years old. So I have very little patience for people who just don't get it. Like, we're not trying, like, what do I get out of charging you twice? I just want to process the transaction and get you out of here. I don't want you in here any longer than you want to be in here, honestly, most of the time. So he argues. And she tries to figure out what happened, and she says, "No, we still have a total of $17.47. He goes, "Well, it was, where are you getting $17.47? You said it was $17.50. So now there's like a 3-cent discrepancy. And that is just ruining his day. Mind me while I always fix my nose ring, because it always feels like it's hanging out my nose. Anyway, I digress into nose ring conversation. And this gentleman, I'm going to call him 3 Cent. That's going to be his nickname, 3 Cent. So we have main cashier, we have 3 Cent, and now we have, I think, like a supervisor came up because she's just like, I need to figure this out and what happened here. So I'm like, I'm going to let them handle things for a little bit until he's not handling it. Or till till it's not being handled. And then I might have to pipe in because I know what the answer here is, and I was sort of waiting for one of them to say it and see then and where it would go. I think it got a little escalated where if maybe that had been said right off the hop, he'd have been more relaxed about the whole thing. But anyway, he starts to like shift up, and I don't know if you can see my Aries fire. It's like on my Aries fire on my cheek. Because when I get worked up about things, this like inflames red. I must have been so red. Which comes from being so white. I can be so white or so red. That's all I can be. And anyway, 3 Cent then gets escalating the situation. And they're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it is going nowhere. So finally, I'm like, sorry, sir. You could pay for your stuff, and then if you got charged twice and you have proof that they charged you twice, then you can come back and argue with them. And that is exactly how I said it to him. Very matter-of-factly, like, this is what needs to happen right now. Just pay for your shit, get your shit, get out, If there's a problem, then you can come back and argue with these ladies for 20 minutes and get your money back. But you've spent 3 cents. And again, at this point, we're just figuring out only 3 cents has gone through transaction. So then when I spoke, instead of just trying that out, he was not having it. He told me I could go fuck myself. And that's when the supervisor had enough and she called security. Because he also put his hands on everything, like he was going to pick it up and walk off. And at that point, he had only paid for 3 cents worth of that stuff. Here is a piece of the box of your tissue paper. That is how much you paid for it, was a piece of that box. And of one of your facial tissue boxes. So now we have him, we've escalated the situation to security, it's called. So they're all urging that I could move around and I'm like, I'm not going to leave you guys at this point. I'm like, I am here. I'm involved. I know, like, I kind of got myself involved, but they were kind of like okay with it. I think I made the manager laugh at one point, which was probably good. Actually, I made the manager and then I made the supervisor I made laugh, and then I made the manager laugh, who also got involved. So after security got called, well, then of course the manager is involved. So the manager then obviously figures out at some point there's something going on until a discrepancy. So she takes a reading of all of the debits that have happened in that time frame that we've been standing there, showing her till what transactions have gone through. His doesn't show up at all. Not even this 3 cent transaction was showing up. So obviously there was a glitch with the system. That's what my customer service brain tells me. There was some weirdo glitch with systems, which is what happens with computer systems. Like, yes, they are flawed. They have their flaws. If things happen, but we can fix it. If people cooperate, we can fix it. So at this point, they're trying to figure out how to give him, or how to get this situated. So I just said, at that point that he told me to go fuck myself, after I was trying to be helpful to him of like, here's how we can all move on with our day. Then he said, yeah, go fuck yourself. What is it to you? I said, well, I'm trying to get to work. These ladies, and then he says, I'm trying to get my business. I'm like, no, you're trying to steal from them. I'm trying to give them the business. And that made the supervisor kind of giggle under her breath, and I think the cashier might have smirked. I said, no, you're trying to steal from them. I'm trying to give them business because I want to pay for my stuff. And at this point, he has stepped away, and the security guy has walked up, and I've realized that I saw him around the store, and I now realize I had seen him hanging around. And so he comes up, young guy, did a great job, like young, pretty new, probably too. He's probably in his mid-20s, maybe, had a very baby face, but just a nice built boy, good built boy, perfect for security. And he comes up. And so Buddy decides he's getting on the phone with the cops because they have now stolen 3 cents. So 3 cent is mad about his 3 cents. He's on the phone with the cops. And the security guard then decides, well, he's just going to get on the phone with the police because he's going to tell them the right story of what's going on. So he's like, because at this point he's been asked to leave because I believe then he called the girls bitches. I believe there was a muffling of the word bitch under his breath. And that's when the security guard had enough. He was out. Security guard was like, you're going to leave now. And he's like, I'm on the phone with the cops. I'm not talking to you. And he's like, then you don't need to be in this store. You can get out. And at this point, then the manager, way up, she's now been like, yeah, you need to get out. You're not coming back into this store. And he's like, oh, I don't want to come back to the store. They're like, then get out and stay out. And I said, I'm like, I'll give you a dang nickel to get out. And then he goes, that's not the principle of the thing. I was like, Mr. dropping F-bombs at women wants to talk to me about principles. I'm sorry, excuse you? When you drop the F-bomb at us, that's when all of us were over you and your shit. You think swearing at women is going to prove your point? You think you sound intelligent telling me to go fuck myself? When you did that, you lost everybody's respect. Because you were coming at me, who was trying to be helpful. You're dropping F-bombs in front of women you do not know. And I'm like, I'm not against, I'm around my friends. Clearly, I say those words. I say them like this. But one, I am a girl. I'm going to say it to other girls. And I'm not telling you to go fuck yourself. So when you use harsh language at me, I'm done with your shit. And my attitude is going to come out. This is not going to be controlled. This is certainly not going to be controlled. So finally he agrees to leave, and I literally went, he finally did the right thing. And that made this like manager lady laugh, which was fantastic. I think they all got a bit of a chuckle out of that. I gotta say so myself. Sometimes I feel proud of my comedic side that it works sometimes. I really should have whipped out my phone and recorded this, because that would have been gold to have. Because this guy was he was trying so hard to get out without paying for his stuff, and he was just going to continue arguing. And I could just see that, and that's why I said I stepped in, because he wasn't going to stop trying to prove his point. And when people get like that, you got to change the conversation. And I changed it in a way that I thought might help. I said that, this is what needs to happen, and then you can come back and argue. That is from my experience as a supervisor, my experience as a manager, a cashier, that if you disagree, there is no receipt that says you paid for anything. You didn't pay for anything. Their machines did not show you paying for it. Every single one of those machines agreed you didn't pay for it. That's you against the entire store's mainframe. You didn't pay for it. Pay for it again. One, if you're that close on your debit, it wouldn't go through twice, would it? So you would know that you paid for it, or you just don't have money in your account. In which case, then I would have paid for it, you dick. But that's where we were at with it. So yeah, then they were just like, okay, you can have this 3 cents back. I don't want my 3 cents back. So now they can't even void this thing, because they need the guy to come with a pin pad and take his 3 friggin' cents back. I'm sure that there's some sort of override card they can put in there, or some way they can do that, I'm sure. Because I'm sure that has to be, there's got to be a troubleshoot on that. So, anyway, I stuck around, gave them my name, my phone number, told them if they did need me to just call me, and I would help them out in any way I could, having been the closest witness and semi-involved. And the manager said, she's like, I was tolerating it till he told you to go F yourself. I said, oh no, I was tolerating him till that point too, and I was trying to actually help him, and I told them like what my plan was had he actually just declined his transaction. So there you go, buddy. Karma's gonna come for you, because the rest of us were all just trying to do our jobs and do the right thing, and you were the dick. So you get to be, I want to put you on Philip's show, but I'm sure there's bigger douchebags of the day than this guy, but he is a douchebag today. He's not my anti-hero, the opposite of a hero today. I kind of feel like a hero today a little bit. I felt like me speaking up this time helped those ladies. Solidarity to the ladies as well as the other customer service people. And then the manager said, can they hire me? And I said I wasn't really available, but thank you. Anyway, that is what happened. So that's what probably happened yesterday. I'm saying this today as it just happened. But focus. I'm probably not going to post this tomorrow. This will be tomorrow's video probably, because I'm exhausted and probably will sleep in like crazy tomorrow. My body actually hurts. I got so worked up. My whole body hurt. Like my heart was pumping awkwardly, and I almost felt hungry, and I'm hungry. Like I was buying food because I was hungry. So that probably doesn't also help that I got kind of in that hangry state. So he got my wrath. But he kind of deserved it. He was like, if anybody deserved my wrath today, it was that guy. So anyway, this is probably coming out tomorrow, which will be Thursday. Tonight is wing night with the crew. This is where my vegetarianism goes out the window, because wing night. Okay. So again, if you think that I'm a bit of a badass or anything like that, you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button, lightly tap, or you can go ahead and smash it, or do whatever it is that you do to subscribe buttons to subscribe. And you can also like and share. Okay, love you, bye.